Alright now, this your favorite fat man, bringing you my NFL diary. I know it's been a while, and I miss y'all. But a couple weeks ago, lost my voice for a little bit. I'm back now. So, what I want to talk about in my diary, and I'm just going to call it my diary from now on because football season's coming to an end. You know, we got to talk about other sports, and there's a couple things I want to get to real quick with y'all. First in the NFL, I want to talk about teams that really just, I guess, upset me, pissed me off just a little bit. First, I'm going to talk about the Chicago Bears. No disrespect to my partner in crime, Raphael Haynes, but that team sucks. Let's be straight up about it. And I was on the show, the three-point conversion, with him and a couple of the other fellas, this past summer, and I actually gave the Chicago Bears props for being the team that was going to come out of the NFC North. I apologize to my fans. I apologize to my haters. I was wrong. Congratulations on being able to call me out on that one. That was absolutely trash on my part. I messed up. The Chicago Bears is a dumpster fire. Straight up dumpster, straight up fire. Jay Cutler is the last of the last of the top 10 guys from that draft. If you remember, Reggie Bush, Vince Young, Matt Leinart. Jay Cutler was the last quarterback of those three taken, and yet he's the only one still in the league. Matt Leinart's doing commercials, trying to hold on to his Heisman fame because, well, he doesn't have much left. And when you talk about Heismans, you gave that Heisman to Matt Leinart when he had players that have been deemed ineligible to play. So maybe you should consider taking his back too. Tangent, I apologize. Vince Young, also no longer in the game because, well, people don't want to see him win and he's not emotionally stable enough to handle it. But Jay Cutler's still in the league. How? I absolutely don't know. Because one week he can give you a great performance and the next week he can't. But for some strange reason, he's strung along a lot of weeks of poor behavior. And people are saying, who would you take, Jay Cutler or Tony Romo? Why? Because they play tomorrow night. But I can't take Jay. That's the thing that's crazy. Fortunately for Tony Romo, he's got DeMarco Murray, who's making him look less inept to handle the pressure later in games, which is why in the fourth quarter when Dallas is down, they're still running the ball. They don't want to put the ball in Tony's hands. But Chicago does want to put the ball in Jay Cutler's hands. I remember after Trestman's first season, everybody was saying, finally, Jay Cutler's got a coach that's going to get the best out of him. Trash. Absolutely not. Shut up. Trestman's not that guy. He needs to go back to Canada. No disrespect to Canada. I like Canada. I'm getting a Canadian flag tattooed on my arm. Because I'm Canadian? No. But because I really like Canada. Shouts out. Maple syrup, bitches. But when I look at Chicago, you look at that offense and you ask yourself the question, why are they so poor? If that defense is trash, okay, you can accept that the defense is trash, which I will get to in a second. But when you look at that offense, we've seen teams with no defense to be heard of, but still being able to produce. Indianapolis Colts, St. Louis Rams, just to name a few of the early NFL days. And I'm talking about the early 2000s. And back in the early 2000s, you could touch the quarterback. Now you can't touch the quarterback, and for some strange reason, Chicago's offense is still sputtering. When you got Forte, Bennett, Jeffries, Marshall, and another guy, and then you got Jay Cutler, who was supposed to be the truth. Supposed to be. Last time I heard, if you're a marquee quarterback, you don't get let go by the team that drafts you. That's just how it works out. Colin Kaepernick will end his career as a San Francisco 49er unless he breaks his leg and loses all his talent. Just saying. Peyton Manning, his situation was remarkable only because everybody thought that his neck was broke. They thought he was going to be riding around looking like Stephen Hawking. He was able to come back, and the Colts didn't want to wait. They had Andrew Luck. Totally understand. But any other quarterback, for the most part, that is a marquee guy will remain on his team. Denver, nah, they let Cutler go. Why? Because they realized what they really had in him. He was a guy who wanted to be just like Brett Favre. Well, Jay, congratulations, you're not Brett Favre. Just putting it out there, buddy. Now, I have some more teams that I want to get to, but rather than talk about all those teams, I'm just going to sum it all up and say the NFC South. Yes, I said the NFC South. They're absolutely trash. We're potentially looking at a below 500 team making it to the playoffs. Now, let's rewind for a second. Several years ago, New Orleans played against a Seattle team that was below 500 in the playoffs. And everybody said that New Orleans was going to go wreck shop and straight handle Seattle. And that Seattle didn't deserve to be on the same field as New Orleans, let alone hosting a playoff game. Now, New Orleans, on shoe on the other foot, looks to potentially be a team to make it to the playoffs with a below 500 record. Why? Because they can't win at home anymore. You got 8 games at home, 8 games away. You should at least go 8-8 if you suck as an away team, right? Right. But New Orleans can't win on the road, and they can't win at home. So they'll probably go less than 500. Atlanta's not competition. Carolina's straight up trash, and Cam Newton should leave. And Tampa Bay, whenever you hear the name Tampa Bay, the first thing you want to say is Muscle Hamster and Lovie Smith. I'm sorry. So the NFC South is absolutely trash. And to all those haters out there, and I'm talking about all those haters, I'm talking about Slayer, and I'm even going as far as to say 99.9 The Fans, Joel Ovius from the Adam and Joe Show. You said that the NFC East was going to be straight trash this year. We've got 2 teams that are in the playoffs if the playoffs were to start today. Talking about Dallas and Philadelphia. We're better than the NFC South with your Carolina Panthers, but hey, it's cool. No worries. Just giving a shout out to the haters. Lastly, I want to bring up the NBA. The NBA has been fairly decent this year. Shouts out to KD for being able to come back, playing your first game back last night. Bigger shout outs go to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is one of those stars that just doesn't get the opportunity to shine. Is it because he's on the wrong team? Absolutely not. Because KD is on a team that's in Oklahoma City. What's in Oklahoma City? That's right. Absolutely nothing in Oklahoma City except for tornadoes and signs that say, "Welcome to Oklahoma City." But for some strange reason, the NBA can still put Oklahoma City on television. Why can't the Pelicans be put on television? Why? Because their mascot is a pelican. It is a big bird with a big beak that eats fish. That's why you can't get put on television. And Anthony Davis isn't really that marketable. Anthony, I know you want to keep the unibrow as kind of a trademark thing, but Joe Flacco had a unibrow too. He was smart enough to cut that thing. He got a Super Bowl. You might want to take one from his book. No disrespect. You got mad talent putting up 20 and 10 like it's nothing. 6 steals, 4 blocks. You got talent, bro. You keep doing what you do. If you want to get New Orleans back on the map, stay where you at until the NBA shows you respect. But if you want to get put on TV and make that bread, go ahead and be prepared to go somewhere else. Who's going to be able to pay you that money? I don't know. By the time you're a free agent, it'll probably be LA because they'll finally have that book deal that they made for Kobe off the books. Steve Nash will be off the books. Yeah, it might be the Lakers. Just saying. Because New York's going to be in turmoil for a while with Carmelo Anthony. Don't want to go play with Carmelo. Nobody wants to go play with Carmelo. You could offer me, okay, I'm not going to lie. You offer me $10,000, I'll go play with Carmelo. Shit, you offer me $5,000, I'll go play with Carmelo because I want the money. But if I had the 100% talent that some of these cats got in the NBA, I wouldn't want to play with Carmelo. It's a waste of time. All you're doing is playing for the regular season because the postseason is a watch. All you New York fans, y'all can come find me at Big TJ 2020. I know it's a lot of y'all out there, but you got to speak the truth. Regardless of whether it's Phil Jackson as your head coach, Derek Fisher, Jason Kidd, Isaiah Thomas, don't matter. Mike D'Antoni, doesn't matter who your coach is. Carmelo is a coach killer. Just putting it out there. He kills coaches. Shabam. So, talked about the Chicago Bears. I didn't talk about the defense because, well, I didn't want to waste up all my time. Talked about the NFC South. Talked about all those haters out there that's hating on the NFC East. And I showed some love to Anthony Davis while also trashing Carmelo Anthony. Lakers, how you feeling about that two-year $48 million deal to Kobe? Not feeling too good now, huh? Yo, this has been my sports diary. I'm your favorite fat man, Big TJ. You can follow me on Twitter at Big TJ 2020. Shouts out to all my fans. Shouts out to all my people. Pray for those. It's the holiday season. I'll holla at ya. Peace.